It was supposed to be an ordinary morning. Tom Brady, one of the most recognizable figures in American sports history, had just wrapped up a charity event in a small Massachusetts town. Wanting to escape the cameras and the constant buzz, he slipped into a quiet little diner on Main Street, the kind of place where the regulars knew each other by name, and the biggest news was who forgot to mow their lawn that week. Tom ordered coffee and pancakes, enjoying the simple pleasure of anonymity, or so he thought. As the waitress approached with a warm smile and a pot of coffee, something immediately caught his attention. Hanging from her neck was a delicate silver necklace with a small heart-shaped pendant. His heart skipped a beat. He recognized it. No, it couldn't be. It was the exact same necklace he had given to Sarah, his college girlfriend, more than 2 decades ago. A unique piece, custom-made. One of a kind. He remembered the day he bought it. Sarah had loved it instantly. But why? Why was this young woman, barely in her 20s, wearing it? "Refill?" the waitress asked, her voice cheerful. Tom blinked back to reality. Yeah, thanks." She smiled, pouring coffee into his mug. Her name tag read Lily. He couldn't take his eyes off the necklace. Memories flooded back. The laughter, the late-night study sessions, the plans for the future that never happened. Sarah had left his life so abruptly. No explanations, no closure. "Busy morning?" Tom asked casually, forcing a friendly tone. "Always," Lily chuckled. "Weekends are like that around here." Her eyes were bright, her smile genuine. There was something oddly familiar about her. The shape of her eyes, the curve of her cheekbones, or maybe it was just his imagination running wild. "Grew up around here?" Tom pressed gently. "Yeah. Born and raised," Lily replied as she wiped a nearby table. "My mom and I moved around a little when I was younger, but we settled here when I was about 10. Tom nodded, trying to hide how fast his heart was pounding. "Your mum? Who's your mum?" The word sat at the tip of his tongue, but he hesitated. "Do you like working here?" he asked instead. "It's all right. Pays the bills. I'm actually saving up for school," Lily replied with a hopeful grin. "I want to study sports medicine." Sports. The irony wasn't lost on him. "Good for you," Tom said, smiling back. "You should definitely go for it." As she walked back to the counter, Tom couldn't look away. He glanced down at his phone, debating whether to pull up social media, maybe search local names. But would that even help? His mind raced. Could this really be my daughter? It sounded absurd, impossible. But the necklace, there was no denying that. He rubbed his chin, considering his next move. Should he just ask her? No too forward. Should he wait and come back later? What if he never saw her again? "Everything okay with your meal?" Lily asked, returning with the check. Yeah, it's perfect. Thank you," Tom replied, barely above a whisper. As she handed him the bill, his eyes drifted back to the pendant. The memories became heavier, the possibility more real. He folded the receipt, left a generous tip and stood up. But as he turned to leave, he glanced back one more time. Lily was laughing with another customer, brushing a strand of hair behind her ear, the same way Sarah used to. This wasn't over, not by a long shot. Tom sat in his rental car, hands gripping the steering wheel, staring blankly at the small diner through the windshield. His mind spun faster than it ever did during a Super Bowl 2-minute drill. It can't be. Or can it? The necklace. It wasn't just some random piece of jewelry. It was the necklace. Back in college, he had saved for weeks to buy it. A small silver heart with an engraving on the back. "Always yours, T." Only Sarah had ever worn it. He hadn't thought about Sarah in years. Not really. Life had moved so fast after college. He was drafted into the NFL, his career exploded, and Sarah vanished. No calls, no letters, nothing. It was like she had evaporated. For years, Tom had told himself that maybe she just didn't want the spotlight. Or maybe the long distance had been too much, but deep down it always hurt that she never explained. Now staring at that necklace, everything was unraveling. Could Lily really be my daughter? He opened his phone and searched for Sarah's name. Nothing current popped up. No Facebook, no Instagram. Just an old LinkedIn profile that hadn't been updated in years. Her last listed job was in Boston over a decade ago. Frustrated but determined, Tom switched tactics. He Googled her full name along with Massachusetts. A few results popped up. An old newspaper clipping about a community event from 15 years ago and a property record. An address about 10 miles from where he was right now. Is that where she lives? Or where she used to? Back inside the diner, Lily wiped down tables, glancing out the window. She noticed Tom still sitting there staring, typing on his phone. Why is he still here, she wondered. Most customers came and went. Something about him had felt odd, not creepy, more like distracted. Maybe he was just a weirdo, or maybe he was one of those celebrities trying to hide behind sunglasses. His face did look oddly familiar, but she couldn't quite place him. Tom finally shook himself back to reality and started the engine, but instead of driving away, he circled the block, still unsure of what to do. Was it crazy to confront Lily directly? Should he track down Sarah first? What if he was wrong? What if he embarrassed himself or worse, hurt this young woman with wild assumptions? But there was another question burning deeper. What if I'm right? What if she's my daughter, and I've missed out on 21 years of her life? He imagined her birthdays, her first steps, her first day of school, graduations, heartbreaks, victories. All the moments a father is supposed to be there for, gone. His hands clenched the steering wheel tighter. Back in the diner, Lily took her break, scrolling her phone. She opened her photo gallery to a picture of her mom. Sarah always avoided talking about the past, especially about Lily's dad. Whenever Lily asked, Sarah brushed it off with vague answers like, he wasn't ready for the responsibility, or we had different paths. It always hurt, not knowing half of who you are. Lily sighed, looking at the pendant resting on her chest. She'd worn it for as long as she could remember. Her mum said it was a gift from someone very special, someone from her past. Sarah never explained more. Suddenly, Lily felt a strange knot in her stomach. Something about that customer, his curiosity about her family. It wasn't just small talk. Meanwhile, Tom pulled over, staring at Sarah's old address on his GPS. His thumb hovered over the navigate button. Do I go now, or wait? He took a deep breath. Either way, one thing was clear. The past wasn't going to stay buried much longer. The next morning, Tom found himself parked outside the diner once again. This time, he wasn't here for coffee. He wasn't even sure what he was here for. Answers, maybe. Closure. Or perhaps something far bigger than that. As he stepped inside, the bell above the door jingled. Lily glanced up from behind the counter, offering her usual polite smile. But as their eyes met, something flickered. An unspoken tension neither could explain. "Morning," Tom said, sliding into the same booth as the day before. "Hey, back again?" Lily asked, trying to sound casual but noticing the slight nervousness in her own voice. "Yeah, I guess I like the pancakes," Tom replied with a small grin. As Lily approached with a coffee pot, Tom took a breath. He rehearsed the words in his mind a dozen times, but still wasn't sure how to say them. "Can I ask you something? A little strange," Tom started. Lily hesitated, gripping the coffee pot handle. Sure. Your mum, her name wouldn't happen to be Sarah, would it?" The pot clinked against the mug. Lily froze. Her eyes widened slightly. Her fingers trembled, barely noticeable, but definitely there. "Yeah," she replied slowly, guarded now. How do you know that?" Tom swallowed hard. "I knew her. A long time ago. We went to college together." Lily stepped back slightly, arms folding across her chest. Her posture stiffened. "Wait, who are you?" For a moment, Tom hesitated. Then he sighed and slid off his baseball cap. "I'm Tom Brady." Her eyes scanned his face, confusion giving way to realization. She blinked rapidly, processing. Tom Brady. The name hit her like a truck. Her jaw fell slightly. No way," she whispered. "Are you serious? Tom nodded. Yeah, I am. Lily staggered back a step, shaking her head. Wait. What is going on? Why are you asking about my mom? This doesn't make any sense. Tom leaned forward, lowering his voice. Look, yesterday I noticed your necklace. That necklace, it's one I gave your mom years ago. It's not something you just randomly find. Lily instinctively touched the pendant on her chest. Her breathing became uneven. My mom, she told me it was from someone special from her past. That's all. Tom's eyes softened. I think there's a reason I noticed it. I think there's something we need to talk about. Lily's hands trembled. She suddenly felt like the floor was tilting beneath her. 100 questions rushed through her mind, but none formed properly. I need a minute, she muttered, turning and hurrying toward the back room. Her co-worker, Jenna, spotted her retreat and followed quickly. Lily, are you okay? What happened? I don't know, Lily stammered. That guy out there, he just asked about my mom. He knows her. He's Tom Brady. Jenna's eyes widened. Wait, the Tom Brady? Lily nodded, pacing. And the necklace. He says he gave it to my mom. What does that even mean? Back at the booth, Tom rubbed his hands over his face, heart pounding. Maybe this was a mistake. Maybe I pushed too fast. A few minutes later, Lily returned, her expression a mix of fear, confusion, and determination. Look, I don't know what you're getting at, she said, voice shaking. But if you really knew my mom, you need to talk to her, not me. Tom nodded. Fair enough, but can I ask? Do you have her number? Lily hesitated, then pulled out her phone. I'll call her. Right now. She tapped the contact and put it on speaker. Hello? Sarah's voice answered. Mum, there's someone here. Someone who says he knew you in college. A long pause. Who? Sarah's voice sounded tight, nervous. Tom Brady, Lily whispered. Silence. Then Sarah's voice, sharp and panicked. Lily, listen to me. Don't talk to him. Do you hear me? Don't. Click. The line went dead. Lily stared at the phone, hands trembling. Her world had just turned upside down. Tom didn't wait long. The moment the call ended, he knew what he had to do. The address he found online, Sarah's old residence, was his next destination. His fingers gripped the steering wheel tightly as he drove, heart pounding harder than in any fourth-quarter comeback he'd ever played. As he pulled up to the small, well-kept house surrounded by towering oak trees, a flood of memories hit him. He parked, stepped out, and stood staring at the door, trying to summon the courage he hadn't needed since his very first NFL start. After a deep breath, he knocked. Moments passed. The door creaked open, and there she was, a Sarah. Her face was older but unmistakable. The same sharp green eyes, the same determined set to her jaw. For a second, neither of them spoke, caught between disbelief and decades of unresolved emotion. Sarah's eyes widened. Her voice was barely a whisper. Tom? Yeah, it's me, Tom replied, his voice heavy. We need to talk. Sarah's expression shifted from shock to defensive in an instant. You shouldn't be here. You hung up on Lily, Tom said, his tone low but firm. You can't run from this anymore. Tom, this was a long time ago, she snapped. It doesn't matter anymore. It does to me. It does to Lily. She deserves to know the truth. I deserve to know the truth, Tom fired back. Sarah's lip trembled, and for the first time the walls she had spent years building began to crack. I was trying to protect her. And you. From what? Tom stepped forward. From having a father? From knowing where she came from? Tears filled Sarah's eyes. Her voice softened but trembled. You were about to be drafted. Your whole life was about to change. You had the weight of the world on your shoulders. When I found out I was pregnant, I panicked. Tom's jaw clenched. You didn't even tell me. I was scared, Sarah admitted, wiping her eyes. Scared you'd feel trapped. Scared you'd resent me. Scared the media would destroy both our lives, destroy hers. Tom exhaled sharply, pacing. You took away my choice. My right to be there for her? I know, Sarah's voice cracked. I told myself it was the right thing, that I was protecting you and her, but every day I've wondered if I made the worst mistake of my life. Suddenly, headlights flashed in the driveway. Both turned as Lily's car pulled in. She stepped out, her face pale, eyes wide. She must have followed him. She had to know the truth for herself. Lily stood frozen, staring between them. Is it true? She asked, voice barely audible. Is it true, Mom? Sarah's hands trembled. Her shoulders sagged. She nodded slowly, tears running down her cheeks. Yes, it's true. Lily's knees nearly buckled. All these years. You never told me. I was trying to protect you, Sarah whispered. Protect me from what? Lily cried. From knowing who I am? From knowing him? Tom stepped forward cautiously, his voice soft but steady. Lily, I didn't know. I swear to you, I had no idea. Tears streamed down Lily's face as she stared at him. All those birthdays, every time I asked about my dad, Tom's eyes glistened. I would have been there, Lily. I would have been there for every single one if I had known. A long, painful silence filled the air. Then quietly, Lily whispered, Are you really my father? Tom looked at Sarah. Sarah nodded tearfully. I believe so, Tom said gently. But if you're willing, we can make sure. For a moment, the tension seemed unbearable. Then Lily slowly walked forward, not running. Not screaming, just walking. She stood inches from Tom, searching his face, her father's face, for traces of herself. The air shifted. This was no longer a stranger. This was something far deeper, something life-changing. The next day, Tom and Lily sat side by side in a small clinic, waiting for the results of the DNA test. Neither spoke much during the drive, both consumed by the magnitude of what was unfolding. The silence wasn't uncomfortable. It was heavy, filled with anticipation, nerves, and something new. Hope. Lily fiddled with the silver necklace around her neck. The pendant that had started this entire chain of events now felt like a symbol of destiny. Her glance shifted to Tom, the man she had grown up watching on TV, never knowing he was more than just a sports icon. He was her father. Tom gave her a reassuring smile, though his own hands were clammy. It wasn't about genetics anymore. In his heart, he already knew the truth. But seeing it confirmed would make it real, official, permanent. The nurse returned with an envelope in hand, her expression neutral but kind. Are you ready for this? She asked. Tom and Lily exchanged a look. Yeah, they both said at the same time. The nurse opened the envelope, scanning the document. Based on the analysis, there is a 99.99% probability that Mr. Tom Brady is the biological father of Lily Harris. Lily gasped, covering her mouth. Her eyes welled up instantly. Tom closed his eyes briefly, letting the wave of emotions crash over him. When he opened them, he turned to Lily. I'm so sorry I wasn't there for you, but I'm here now. If you'll let me, I want to be part of your life. Lily let out a shaky laugh through her tears. I don't even know what that looks like, but yeah, I want that too. Tom chuckled softly. Me neither, but we'll figure it out, together. When they walked out of the clinic, the world felt different. For the first time, Lily wasn't just a girl wondering about the missing half of her story. And Tom wasn't just a father to his other kids. He was now a father to her as well. In the days that followed, Tom introduced Lily to his family. There were awkward moments, nervous laughter, and plenty of how did this even happen conversations. But there was also warmth, acceptance, and a growing sense of belonging. Tom took Lily to her first Patriots game, not as a fan in the stands, but sitting right next to him in the VIP section. Cameras captured the moment as the two shared smiles, laughter, and even a teary-eyed hug during the halftime show. News outlets eventually picked up the story, but Tom handled it with grace. In interviews, he simply said, Sometimes life surprises you in the best ways. I'm grateful every day that I walked into that diner. Lily, once a waitress wondering if she'd ever be able to afford college, now had the full support of a father who believed in her. But more than the financial help, it was the emotional support that mattered most. She started pursuing her dream of studying sports medicine, not because of Tom's fame, but because he encouraged her to chase her passion the same way he had chased his. As for Sarah, the wounds slowly began to heal. There were long conversations, painful apologies, and eventual forgiveness. While the past couldn't be changed, the future was now wide open. One evening, sitting on Tom's back porch overlooking the ocean, Lily leaned her head against his shoulder and smiled. "Funny how one necklace changed everything," she whispered. Tom smiled, squeezing her hand. "No, you changed everything." If this incredible story touched your heart, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. And make sure to click the video on the screen now to hear another unbelievable story about a secret family discovery you won't believe.